followers, we are checking in from Highmark Stadium, waiting for the Buffalo Bills. Are your bets getting cold? Not for long, because
the line is hot. The best sports betting podcast around.
Yo, step up. Place best, this moment's ours. Some of them building out and feeling the powers. Counting gains, no shame in it to win it. Roll the dice, double down, life's a
Yo,
limit.
pump that up, kid.
Let me get the snare. Let me get the snare.
No hesitation, just celebration in sight. Raise the stakes, we're living for a hype. Yeah, hit the summit, best high, watch them grow. This the life it chose. Let the stakes flow.
And we are back again. We are live on a Friday night at the 9 o'clock hour on everybody's favorite built-in Buffalo network. I am your co-host, SV the Don, a.k.a. Shawnee V. Back again with my PIC, my partner in crime, Mr. Boston Mike. After quite the evening last night on Thursday Night Football, we're going to have to go right into that. We might even have to bring in a special guest. Jay, the boss, might have to come in and talk some Pats. But hey, man, great to be back with you, Boston Mike. We are live, and I got to give you a little standing ovation here. I am standing right now. The Patriots, man, they're just putting it to the Bills right now, trying to run away with the division. But congratulations on a great win, man. How are you feeling today?
I feel like the more I talk about the Pats, the more people hate me. But whatever, it's all good.
It might be true. I mean, this is a Buffalo-centric audience, so. I'm
very glad to be live these last couple weeks of recording. I know Halloween was there, and I was unfortunately not able to make last week. But, hey, I was in Tampa.
You were, man.
That was awesome. Yo, shout out to my boy Steamer. I met up with my boy Steamer. I haven't seen him in probably 20 years. So shout out to Steam. He came by the crib. We rented a house on the water, and we watched the Pats roll in. And I was at Raymond James Stadium, whatever they call that, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you. For being in other stadiums, it was kind of weak. I mean, don't get me wrong. The backdrop is awesome. You know, the weather was good until it started raining, which I could even deal with. That. It was a warm rain. But I feel like my row of the 4 Patriots fans that I was with was louder than the whole section of Bucks fans. Like, oh, sure. It was, and you've been in Tampa so long. I mean, like,
it's a fair weather stadium. It's a fair weather stadium, bro. It's kind of like a similar place is like, it'd be like the Chargers, like where you're just a home team. You don't really have any type of a real competitive advantage because you essentially, and I don't want to talk shit about my fellow like Tampa people. I lived in Tampa Bay for almost 10 years. I still at some point will probably move back there and own a house there somewhere. Yeah. Maybe not in Tampa Bay, but down in South Florida. Dude, it's just, you understand, man. Like you were down there. There's 12 other things to do besides go watch a sporting event. And it's just not fair weather fans, but it's kind of like, it's the same thing like in LA. You have like the people kind of come out. It's just another thing to do on maybe like a given night on a given Sunday. But in between, you're going golfing, like the reason why you were there, and you know your dinner plans with the folks and whatever else, going to the beach. There's just a million other things you're doing, going on boating and yachting and fishing, whatever. So it's just like, yeah, we'll go to the game. It's just kind of second nature, as opposed to Pats and Bills and the Dogs, of course. It's just different, bro. Like it's a day of, you're gonna make a day of it. You're tailgating, everything kind of. Not only for that day, a game day, but really like the week leading into it is all about that game. So like you said, when you're in Tampa Bay, it's just like kind of an afterthought. Like, hey, this game's cool. But when you have a solid fan base like the Pats, the Bills, the Eagles, you know, teams like that, they're going to be louder. They're used to being loud. And then it's like, I think the fans of like these teams in these nice markets, like whether it be Miami, Tampa, you know, the Chargers, whatever, it's like you kind of get a little bit intimidated that like there's these raucous, rowdy northerner for the most part fans that they're willing to do whatever to give their team an advantage when they're on defense in your home stadium. So I'm not surprised.
Now listen, the stadium was beautiful. I got a ton of videos. I mean, the way it's set up is awesome with bars and tables on the end zone. I mean, You know, they got the pirate ship rocking. I mean, I just feel like they could do so much more for their own team if they were actually in it. Like, it's funny. Like, I told everybody there, for some reason, I feel like their in-game announcer is like the worst fake, like, strip club DJ talker dude. Like,
he's Night Club, let's go. Yeah, right.
Yeah. He's like, it's third down. Like, no shit, we know it's third down. It's been third down the whole game. Like, he's just every play. Like, and then they got these little like vignettes of like the players that pop up, and it's like, it's second down, guys. Come on, we need you. Like they're like begging for support. I don't know. I felt bad because like the Tampa, the fans in front of me were like very fun. They were playing along with us, but like it took them like until they kind of creeped up in like the third quarter there, or beginning of the fourth quarter, to like kind of get a little bit loud, and then it was like Tampa Bay, but in the beginning it was like Tampa Bay, you know, and you're like, oh, shit, we just and listen, I know very good teams and very good fan bases travel well. Like I was expecting it to be 60-40, but I mean, dude, the noise in there might have been 90-10. I mean, it surprised the shit out of me for how good they're playing. Those guys got 2 chips in there. I mean, they got more Super Bowls than half of the old time teams, man. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. It was sad.
I'll say one thing, just because of like being a full-time resident there for like quite a long time, a decade. And it's crazy that you said that. Like, Tampa's very good. Like, you obviously won when Gruden was there. Like, you were basically shit, you know, for a long time. But then Gruden comes and you guys win. And then Brady comes and basically wins it for them. So it's like, they got 2 chips in like a fairly short type of timeline. But you know what the Tampa is, where the Tampa fans really go? I mean, you have obviously the Rays, or they don't spend any money, so they're a small market team in the MLB. Dude, it's the Lightning, man. The Lightning is the team of the Bay Area, and that you actually do have rowdy, raucous crowds that are loud. That's an intimidating place to play, and I know it's indoors, so the sound, like, you know, it kind of echoes and reverberates. But Tampa is a Lightning market first, in my opinion. And they've actually won more championships. I think they won 3 in 5 years on their run recently. So, but great hockey market. But it's unfortunate for football. They've had great product on the field, but just people just don't really care that much, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, listen, the people were friendly. You know, crazy story though. I gotta tell you this though. So I went to the Bills-Pats game, and you know, we always pull into Kettles. Shout out to Kettles, Joel, we love you. So we go to Kettles, and they're like pushing the Pats people in the front corner. I don't know if they're trying to like let them out early if the game gets out of hand. They want to give us like a lifeline or whatever. But so I know I'm with you. I'm with AIM. I'm with more Bills fans than me, but they see my Red Sox hat, so they pull us over there, right? So we're in that little cornhole area or whatever. And you remember the girls we met who did our intro right here, right?
I absolutely do.
And you remember me grabbing up all those weird, diverse Patriot people with all the jerseys and shit and bringing them over for that picture, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yep.
Tell me how the hell I run into one of those dudes walking into the Tampa Stadium, fucking 600 miles down, and I'm with my friends, and all of a sudden I look over and I'm like, yo, I know that guy. And my friend Carl's like, dude, no, you don't. You're drunk. Just let it go, bro. It's all good. I'm like, no, seriously, dude. I have a picture with that guy. I find on my phone the picture. I say, yo, dude, weren't you at the Bills tailgate? He looks over and goes, yo. He calls his buddies over. Like, all 3 of them were there. The dude snaps a selfie with me. So now I have 2 pictures with some strange guy from Rhode Island who happens to be from Rhode Island. I couldn't believe it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Just kind of funny.
You texted me the pictures of him, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar. Yeah, I know he looked familiar.
He was from the tailgate. Awesome. Yeah.
That's a great experience. You met a guy previously completely across the country in a different market. That's
now we're like best friends, like stepbrothers. You know, I sent him a text, and I'm like, where the hell else am I going to see you? He's like, well, I'm going to Cincinnati. You going there? And I'm like, no, I said I'm trying to get to Pat's
That's
Bills.
That's an easy trip for you, Cincinnati. It's like 4 hours.
Yeah, I just can't take any more time away, man. Yeah, I got to. Here we go. Michael DeBella in the house. What up, all? What up? So what's up, Mike?
I have to admit, we had a little bit of an IT hiccup. If you wondered why the numbers are slowly starting to stream in. Apparently on StreamYard now, there is a limit of how many platforms you can be live on. What? So yeah, I fixed it. It's fixed now. But we actually weren't on our number one when we started going live. We were not on Twitter on Built in Buffalo. So I saw that, fixed it, and so now everyone's tuning in.
Welcome, Twitter, everybody. X, whatever we call it now.
You guys missed a great start to the show. We got a great show.
I got some rants. I'm saving rants for that
as you should
for our Twitter folk. But listen, let's talk about that game last night. Let's bring Jay and Evan in here.
What up, boys?
What's up, fellas? Jay Boss, Moneyball Marsh.
Can I tell you?
How you guys doing?
I know because Evan's going to want to talk about some betting, and we got the two Pats fans here. So I got to tell you what I didn't discuss this with Mike. I did hit a 3-teamer last night on the game. I thought this was pretty ingenious, and then I'll let you guys talk about it. So this is what I picked last night for Thursday Night Football. I thought this was easy. So I think the under/over. What was it, Mike? It was maybe 40-ish.
Oh, it was
somewhere around.
Yeah, it was low 40s.
Okay, so what I did was I did a 3-team same game parlay. There was some hockey going on, but I kind of kept that separate. But my pick for last night was the double chance in football. So I did basically Patriots to be winning at half money line, and then Patriots money line. Now they were, as you guys know, they were like minus 400 on the money line or so. It might have been even 440. Evan could probably tell us. With those two combined, halftime and money line and full-time money line, it was like minus 170 or something to start my parlay, which I was like, this should be no problem. They should get out to the lead and they should kind of like be ahead the whole game. And then I tweaked down the spread. I forgot what it was. It was 12, something like that. I tweaked it down to minus 6.5 for the game. And then I tweaked the under/over down to go over 34. So I basically had like a 4-team parlay, except that it's actually 3 because halftime, full-time is 1 bet.
Yeah, it's 1 bet.
Dude, it paid like 3-1 for an outcome that I was pretty confident was going to happen with the game flow that I was expecting.
Yeah.
So that was my pick. So I won.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
Play, man. I will back up the numbers. Actually, New England was like minus 850, minus 900, and then they were getting that 12.5, 13. So right around where it ended up.
Right. I think it ended up where I was at Harrah's, the Caesars. It went down from 13 to 12.5, like before the game started, which I loved. I loved that. Like I was like, damn, that's beautiful. Like I would have just picked the spread. Billy the Kid, I know we have his picks coming up later. He actually jumped on it and took minus 12.5 right when it changed, like maybe 5-10 minutes before kickoff. So he nailed it too. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep.
No. Nice. All right, Jay. Now, all right, here we go.
Back again. Let's go.
I'm going to put full screen my man Jay Boss here because I want to know how excited he is to have won 2 games since we've been on live and increased our lead in the AFC East. And like I said, I know that every time we talk Patriots on here, like I said, we don't dislike the Bills. We just like the Patriots a little bit more because we're from Rhode Island. But I think it's a good rivalry, and it is a rivalry. And don't ever let anybody tell you it's not. It is a rivalry. Kansas City is not your real rival. It is the Patriots, and just take it as it is. So, Jay, what are you more excited about here, buddy? That win over Tampa or the game last night?
I think the win over Tampa. Everyone expected us to beat the Jets. I was pumped about the uniforms last night, though. They look good.
Those were sharp. Yeah, those were sharp. I never seen them, Jay. Those were sick.
Yeah, man. It looked better on TV. We've been seeing them since they released them. I don't know. What was it, late August?
Yeah.
But to see them on TV, to see us wearing a helmet other than the silver one or a throwback with Pat the Patriot on it, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of cool to see those. Absolutely excited, man.
You look like you're having a seizure today, Jay. Are you bouncing on a trampoline? What's happening?
Nah, my table's shaking a little. It's all good.
You're just so excited. Listen. You're so excited. I can feel Jay's foot tapping from
the
here.
table's moving.
I gotta say, Boston Mike. You know what I was excited about besides winning some money on you guys was I don't know if we're gonna talk a little bit of fantasy, but my guy Trayvon got me some points last night. I like that too. I'm becoming a quick Pats fan, a fast Pat fan.
Dude, he followed up that Tampa game with oh my god, three tutties, dude. Like
that's his job to lose now, right? I think he's the guy now. Like that's it.
I mean, listen, I like having Stevenson in there. I think he's a good second guy. But listen, the problem with him is in Tampa he only had 2 good plays, and they were 2 long touchdowns, and every other game was less than 2 yards. So like he's an all or nothing guy. But I mean, at a certain point, we'll take the alls. I mean, the nothings are. I mean, listen, we're gonna run it 20 times anyway, so. Right. Break out for a couple. I'm okay with that, But all right, so listen, let's talk. And I know this is probably the elephant in the room. What happened in Miami? Evan, I'm going to go to you first here. I want you to full screen, and you tell me how much money you lost on that game and how much hair you pulled out.
I didn't lose any money on this game, actually. I sent you guys my notes before. I always kind of get my thoughts on paper before the game, and my exact words for this matchup was, this is a rematch here. We got Miami, who covered 13.5 last time they played on the road in Buffalo, and then they moved it to 9.5 when they play in Miami. That alone made no sense to me. And then I also looked at the percentages right before this game, and Miami was getting 1% on the money line, which anytime I see that number, it is a red flag right out the gate, especially in a divisional matchup. So I wrote down here I honestly avoided it. I didn't touch Buffalo. I think even at that 1%, there was still a chance possibly that the Bills could have pulled it off for how they played in Kansas City, but I wasn't going to sit there and go against the 1%. I think it's just not a good spot when you're on the road, no matter which team it is. So it was an avoid game for me. If I would have done anything, I 100% would have taken the Miami spread for that game. So I'm thankful for my analytics in situations like that. I think they get a lot of the public on those games, and that was definitely one of them. There was another game I'll get into with very similar odds. That would be the New Orleans game, and I think we all
they won.
Yeah. So
they won. Yeah. But all right, SV here. Hold on. I know you got something to say. Hold on. Well, the floor is yours. The floor is yours, buddy.
I'll say this, man. Like, first of all, I did pick Miami to cover the spread in this game. I thought it was very obvious that it's a division game.
We all did. We all took Miami getting 8.5.
And for good reason, man. Like, it's first of all a division game. The Bills tend to. Yes, Josh Allen in the series has owned the Dolphins for the most part. He had something like I think he was 15-2 or something similar to that, very close to that going into that game. But we've had some struggles, man. We don't play super well down in the heat, and granted, we played this sometimes like early in the season where it's really hot, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But man, like the Bills, and this is I harped to the guys in the previous episode. The Bills are super banged up. Like they have so many guys out, so many starters on really for that game, both sides of the ball. And then you had guys go down in game. Like you had Kincaid was out. You have a bunch of defensive starters out. And really it was just Achane. Like we know that the Bills can be run on. Like they've been run on all year on defense. So when you have a lot of your guys out and you have Achane is really good. Like he's one of the elite, at least with the speed. The speed he has in his elusiveness in the open field, he was getting past like the first line of defense, getting into like the defensive backfield, and he was just gone, man. If you don't take a perfect angle on him, you're not catching that guy in space. So they did get gashed kind of like in garbage time when the game was already kind of out of hand. But really what it came down to is it was always going to be a tough game. I expected the Dolphins to cover. They're going to run the ball. And they hit on a couple plays. Harrison did get beat for a deep touchdown by Waddle, which was funny because allegedly the Bills have been looking to trade a first for in 2027, Brandon Bean, to try to bring Waddle in. So obviously, they don't need help at receiver. They clearly did. I mean, that's come to light now in the media. But yeah, man, like had 2 drives that they really could have stopped the proverbial bleeding. And you had turnovers. They started on the 2-yard line. They went down the field. James Cook tries to extend, makes a great play, and fumbles. And it was a close play, but the ball got punched out. Great all play by Minkah Fitzpatrick. You got to give him credit for that. He made a play. Same thing. Coming out of halftime, the second half, whatever it was, Josh Allen drives the field in a gotta-have-it type of situation. Has a miscommunication with Dawson Knox. Dawson breaks one way. Josh throws it to on the other side where he thought he was going to break. And that's it. All the momentum at that point, the game was done. And there was no way that they were going to be able to get that win. So I'm not totally surprised that they lost the game. It was just in the way that it unfolded. The Bills really never had a chance. Like, they were chasing that game from the beginning after an initial interception by Cole Bishop. One bright spot. Cole Bishop and Maxwell Harrison have been playing well in the secondary. I think a building blocks for future years, those guys. Nice to see them step up. But you stop them on the first drive of the game, and then you do nothing. You go 3 and out. And they went 3 and out, I think, 6 times in the first half. That's unacceptable. That's big problems for Joe Brady. I'm not surprised that Sean McDermott came out and actually felt the need to give a vote of confidence that Joe Brady was going to finish the season as the OC. I think they still may move on, and I think that they may try to position the fact that he's going to be getting some head coaching interviews, maybe, if he hasn't played himself out of that consideration, and they might just give him a little push out the door. Maybe they bring back Brian Dable, recently fired. But yeah, they got to do something. I really do question if the Bills have the cojones to not only – I mean, I think the 1 seed is out of the picture for sure. The division is probably out of the picture. And the Bills, if they keep doing this Jekyll and Hyde shit, they might miss the playoffs altogether. So this is a big game coming up for them.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, listen, here's my pet peeve is that the Bills fans outwardly to the NFL are this lovable group of very friendly people, come tailgate with us, whatever. Sure. But within the cult, they're ruthless to each other. Like, you don't know how many social media boards and groups and shit I'm in. And once one person says, McDermott, blah, 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 like the vultures are like on these people. I don't know if the Bills are paying these people to like, you know, just cut off any of this bullshit, like second one, but like they make you feel like you got no takes. Like, oh, how do you like blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, your take sucks just as bad as the other guy's take. Your rebuttal is even worse than what he said, but just give people a chance. Like, that's the only thing. Listen, and I'm in Patriots groups, and even when we sucked for the last 3 years, like, we're respectful. We're the same, right?
Band of brothers. I got you.
But we have 6 rings. Give me a break, dude. Like, you can't eat your own when they're just upset that they're not winning. Like, the Bills played like shit. Like, you can't say that. I don't know. It just drives me kind of crazy. I think when you're in here, and I lived here for 20 years, dude. I get it. We all ride high. We all ride low. But, like, that infighting, dude, like, you can't have anything negative to say, or you're, like, not a real Bills mafia. Like, it just drives me up a wall. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry. I love this area, but act like you've been here before.
Yes.
Like, you guys have been you've been the darling team for the last 5 years. Like,
and you did nothing with it. And they did nothing with it, though. That's what irks us.
So, okay, so then you're frustrated. I get it, right? So now you have a reason to be frustrated. I mean, we all invest our souls in this shit, and we can't control it. I'm not out there throwing passes and calling plays. Like, I'm
very glad. Like, I've talked on here many times about how big of a Bills fan my family is and my dad is specifically, but I'm glad I could give him fair warning before that game. Yeah. Like, if you look at what I track, man, I really don't get upset when my team, like, obviously it's not a good loss. You got to eat the turd on that one, but it's also a very big factor when you're getting 1%. I mean, nobody really expects Miami to push for the playoffs. Like, they're essentially just hurting their draft stock winning these games a little bit. Right. Achane put up over 200 all-purpose yards against us. So if anything, it highlights our biggest flaw, which is that, run-stopping defense. So if anything, this should be a good sign to move forward. And if you make that fix, it's a much closer game, and we probably wouldn't end up winning that divisional game. But it's just a push for the future, I think, in that aspect. But it's also, we're also winning some other close games that are pretty important for the season, like beating that Chiefs team, So there's not all bad signs. You can't sit here and say that they're not going to make the playoffs yet, but it's just those little questions where you question the future and the playoff push just off of those things, because there are a lot of teams in the NFL with solid running games, and that's pretty much all they do.
Right.
So.
No, that's a great point. And I think that there is enough film out there, like this year, just alone, like we're going into week 11 right now. The Bills have put on several displays of piss poor defense and a lack of mixing it up on offense and not being creative, that any competent playoff level team that the Bills play, short of the Chiefs, I'll give the Bills coaches credit. I think they actually have a strategy that they could beat the Chiefs potentially. Like, I have more confidence this year if they were to meet them at somewhere down the road, if we could make it that far and play them in like the championship game. I think we could beat them this year. I think they have the dogs on the D line to maybe do it. But I think, like, dude, I've never been more worried about the path to not only getting to the playoffs, but having to play a road game where you go and play like the Colts or somebody that can run, or the Patriots even, like a team that can just run the ball, run the football, and then protect the ball and get some stops on D. Like, how are the Bills beating you? Like, they're just not. They're not a physical team, unfortunately.
And the only thing I also want to mention with the Bills is every week when they're playing, they are always the most bet on team out of any team in the NFL. And you can look at, the Seahawks right now. You can look at the Chiefs, even the Ravens. They're sitting at 95%, but the Bills are one of those teams that consistently gets above 98% percentage-wise and money-wise. So if there's anything that, like, even before the season, we were the biggest favorite to win all of our games this year. So I think the NFL kind of looks at it as a situation where if those underdogs are to come out against us, it's when all of the public is on us in those divisional games. It's when we're playing a good team and we're still getting above 80%. The ones that we win are when we're getting 12% against the Chiefs at home, or when that percentage really drops. I think the only time Buffalo has value is when people start to question them, which will probably be for a good bit of these next couple games. So I'll be keeping track of where the public stays on.
That's a good point. I almost feel like, what do you guys think as Patriots fans? Like, obviously we're your division rival. I kind of feel like the public, to an extent, and other teams' fan bases are even like slow to acknowledge the fact that the Bills might have lost a little bit of a step here. I feel like we're getting too much respect. I just don't see a reason why people should think, oh, the Bills are a really good team. I just don't see it.
You got the quarterback, though.
That's true.
You guys got the quarterback. Absolutely. We know how Buffalo fans feel, in a sense. I mean, with Tom Brady, the years we've had these, no-name wide receivers for him, where Brady could have had like 2 more Super Bowls. These guys like Rashad Caldwell and Jabbar Gaffney and
Bethel Johnson.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's to see Josh Allen working with the guys. I'm kind of glad, in a sense, Belichick is gone, because we're actually doing a little bit better in the draft. And, I just don't know what Buffalo's – is it the GM? Is it your coach? How much, say does McDermott have on the players that they're getting and what they're doing? I don't know.
Be careful, though. I just told you can't mention the coach. Like, we're gonna have to edit this out. Like, we're gonna be pulled off the air. Like, we're not gonna be allowed on the network anymore. Like, but here, Sean, to follow up on your point, I saw this great graphic yesterday. They had the top 10 rushing outputs this year, right? 3 of the top 10 were against the Bills. And you're talking 160 yard, 170 yard, right? Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, A-Chain last week, right?
Any competent running back, the NFL running back is talent.
And then 4 of the other 10 was Jonathan Taylor. So be happy the Bills don't play the Colts, because he would fucking run for 600
that's what
yards.
I'm saying. Dude, he ran for 250 on us like 2-3 years ago. If we played them in the playoffs, we're cooked, bro. You have no chance. They can give him the ball 30 times. We have no chance of winning. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, another game with the Falcons.
Right. I do got to say something, though, real quick about the Patriots, just to kind of like maybe tie a bow on like the Patriots-Bills conversation. Not that we have to, but wanted to give a quick shout out when you're talking about just the betting, like the betting that you guys that we do and that I was doing. It was so nice. I hate to say it, but like in a game where the game was tight, like around halftime, like they were only winning by a touchdown and the defense held. And I was like, damn, like, are they going to go down? The Jets going to go down the field? Probably not, because it's the Jets and the Patriots D is obviously solid. But it was just nice at certain clutch moments in that game, like on third downs, where like Diggs would just do like a dig route and like, oh, okay, first down. Like you guys have like an easy first down maker, but Diggs is still good. He's still good for that. Where it's like, oh, my confidence was there. Yeah, just keep throwing to Diggs across the middle. First down. You got an easy button. That's what the Bills don't have anymore. So it's nice. It's nice to see that he's still doing well for you guys.
That's not even just him though, dude. Look at Matt Collins, dude.
Oh yeah, Matt Collins is good, bro. And he's
kidding me? Awesome that little, like him putting a fucking backpack on, whatever celebration, dude. Like that dude had become one of my favorite players on this team. I liked him in Buffalo. I thought he was a little weird when he was wearing Flintstone gear and no shoes, whatever. But like if you watch his YouTube channel, the dude's really good for people. He's just a super dude. And you know what's funny? Don't ever say anything about Hollins and Diggs, because the Bills fans all over the place are like, good riddance. We don't need them, blah, blah, blah. And then you come to find out you're picking up Mecole Hardman after the trade deadline.
Right, that's our trade deadline pickup. Great.
Give me a break, dude. Give me a break.
Yeah, if you want to talk about those guys, let's mention the Falcons real quick. Also had Matt Collins before either of those teams got rid of him.
True.
And we also had Alameda Zaccheaus, who's been a constant first down target for the Bears this year. Yeah. I question everything that our front office has done for the past 3 years. And we're dropping good pieces to now we're only targeting Drake London every single target. I don't understand the future plans for this Falcons team, and I've completely given up for this year already. It's painful, man. It's painful.
Damn. I think the Bills aren't too much behind them.
It's talent evaluation. Remember, the Bills could have had Puka Nacua. Did we forget this a couple of years ago? Like, but he's not good. We don't need him. No. We traded away the Bills traded away the pick for Mahomes. Well, he wasn't good. They traded the pick to get Worthy. He's not good. Like, am I wrong?
No, not at all.
I don't know.
But to go over, since we're talking about recaps, I do want to mention a couple other games here.
I'm going to give you the layout here, buddy. Here you go. Solo it out.
Yeah, let's do it. So starting off with that New Orleans-Carolina game, I already kind of tipped a little bit to this, but before that, it was a -250 team at home where they, it's also a divisional game. So I was looking into those percentages pretty heavily. I think with the NFL this year, there's a big difference when you have consecutive games where your team is not covering. New Orleans came into that game with 4 straight games not covering at all, getting blown out. And then you get a -250 team where it looked positive to me to be a bounce-back spot for that team. I think with Tyler Shaw there, it's also a quarterback who we haven't seen much of. So just that question alone made me question that entire game. So I also gave out on my notes.
He loves our tight end, by the way, Marsh. He loves Johnson, me and Mike's fantasy tight end.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson. Yeah, he's always been solid in the NFL. He's a very good target. And I think you still got, what's his face? The Swiss knife. I know they're running him every 2 downs too now, which I like to see in New Orleans. But they're just a questionable team. I'm not going to say they're going to go on any run here, but the Panthers were getting above 95% at home. So anytime I see -250 on DraftKings, I question immediately. I know that's a bad spot typically. Also, some other games, I think Jacksonville and Houston was pretty surprising how that game ended up turning out. I think Davis Mills did not start hot at all. Jacksonville came right down and scored a tutty immediately. And then by the end of it, Houston actually ended up coming back. Another interesting game to me was that Jets game. I think I was one heavily questioning the Jets going into that week. I think when you have 2 teams coming off a bye, and for how the Jets have been playing all year, I wasn't going to back any money on the Jets. I don't think a lot of people were placing money on that game, but to see them actually come out and win one was a good sight to see at home. That's my only note there. I think Cleveland has proved their offense is pretty terrible as expected. Gabriel is not going to be the long-term solution there, obviously. I was very big on New England and Tampa Bay. I think those injuries have come back to kind of haunt the Bucks. I think if they were healthy, fully healthy, they might end up winning that game. But yeah, like I mentioned, their secondary was pretty banged up. Even their offense is still missing those key pieces, and that's continuing on for these next couple weeks. And then by the time all of those games ended at 1:00, I looked to my dad. I said, all of these next games are minus 300 and above. Let's take every single favorite we can. And that was a very profitable strategy for us moving forward on that day. I think once you get past 1:00, do a mental checkpoint of seeing how many underdogs have already came out, because we know statistically it's not going to continue to happen that way. So just a key point to look forward to for this week also.
Nice. You know, I always say too, like, and just so you know, Moneyball makes his picks on Thursday, whatever, but then he'll always change them and craft up this nice little package for us and text it to us Sunday morning.
He's like an amoeba. He's a shapeshifter.
Yes. Yeah. So his numbers on the screen that I'm going to show you right now are not the best because he does take everything into account, and he's a very last minute better, which I think is great. Sean and I obviously are a little bit more feel, stat, things like that, you know, whatever. But so without further ado, here is the standings from week 10.
It's getting a little closer.
We're all in the 70s. Sean is still in our first place spot with 77. But Boston Mike and Evan Marsh. And just so you know, you're all over the Patriots. You were not all over the Patriots on Friday when you picked Tampa. Boo.
I was expecting, man. The Patriots
don't mislead the fans. Boo.
We gotta put Marsh's up to the minute picks on maybe tweet them. That's what we should do. We gotta tweet them out.
I would be happy to give out the notes section for sure.
All right,
just do that. Yeah. Maybe we should make it subscribable, or maybe we'll preview it for a little bit, and then people might have to subscribe to it at a later time.
Yeah, man.
Cool. And listen, we're hoping to have Marcus on. Marcus, good week 7. I mean, listen, against the spreads, these spreads have been pretty hard, I think. I mean, some weeks last year we were getting 10, 11. I mean, we're getting 7s and 8s. I mean, just the spreads have been just a little funky. And obviously, by the time we picked them Thursday, Friday, to make the show, we're not getting all the latest injury stuff, whatever. But, I mean, I feel good. I've had the little Julius Caesar little leafy headband hair for a couple weeks now, so I'm not on the worst end of it, and I'm only a couple back of my friend Sean, who is the king still.
Until he's not.
I think he's been wire to wire. He might be wire to wire right now. I think you might be.
I believe after week 2.
Okay.
Week 2 to 11 so far.
So continue doing what you're doing, obviously. But listen, let's get into 11 because this week is, listen, I'm excited for this week. Obviously, for me, my game's done. So now I can kind of focus here on what's happening. Here is the early slate. What stands out to you guys here? Anything stand out to you? Obviously, that Bills game, at home, given 5.5, 47.5 over, maybe. I don't even know. Like, what else on here is good? That's really the only good game.
Tough. I feel like that's a tough division game. Well, I know Joe Burrow, Joe Cool, he's back practicing, like he's starting to. Like, he's obviously not playing yet. But they always got a chance in a division game. They got those receivers, man. If their receivers are healthy, I feel like that game, 6 points, that's a lot of points.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, I think the Chargers Jags game is interesting as well. And I know I don't want to give away our picks, but I don't know. I almost feel like the Panthers, after the way that the Falcons have played. Evan, you could comment on this for sure. I feel like that's disrespectful for the Panthers. I'm like, I'll probably take the Panthers to win this game outright. I don't know. It's tough.
I don't blame you. I definitely look at it and question right away. I do not think we should be over a field goal by any means against.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it should be 3. It should be 3 points. What have the Falcons done to deserve that extra half a point? I don't know.
Dude, listen, you guys have one of the best receivers, the best running backs, and you're at home. And it's a 41. They think it's going to be a low-scoring game. You guys should win by 4.
To be fair with the Falcons, we have covered the past 2 weeks. We did cover against the Colts. We covered against the Patriots. So 2 good teams. I think our defense does what they need to do.
Yeah.
Like we were getting some turnovers, stopping the run as much as he can against Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. You guys have been banged up too. Like the way that you guys played against the Bills, that was at like full capacity. So let's not forget that you guys that went healthy are a very good defensive unit.
Yeah, I think it's one of those spots where the Falcons, if we come into this game and lose this after losing to them already 30-0 in this game, I think 1, our coach gets fired right after the game. And I think 2, we know our season's over for the rest of the year. So this is a do or die spot for the Falcons. I think that's the only reason that they're getting this edge. Do I love it? No. But if there's a hefty percentage on the Panthers this week for how they played last week, they only put up 7 points. I don't think that offense has really been steamrolling people, to be honest. I think Rico Dowdle, his hype's there, but can they keep that up over the entire year? There's some questions there too. Is it too early to say? I think so, but also the Falcons are not a playoff team in my mind. So I'll really have to track and see where this goes in this game. I also think Miami, I know the Commanders are pretty banged up, obviously. They haven't been looking good. They're the only team at this point who hasn't covered for 5 straight games. Even Tennessee covered the week before their bye. There's other crappy teams who have been covering, but the Commanders are seemingly getting wiped out in every game.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins at home really don't have that big of an edge. I question that line myself. I question the Bills. The first 3 games on this list are like, are we looking at the past couple weeks? But that's what we know happens in the NFL. Everything is matchup based.
Yes. Yep.
And just pay attention to what movement you're getting. I've already seen some early movement in, say, like this Packers game. They're kind of getting boosted. We know the Packers are a team where the past 6 games, they've only covered 1. So that's another team who's desperate to cover and win and actually produce on the field. The Steelers have had 2 terrible weeks now. I told you guys I'm not a big believer in Aaron Rodgers at all. I think 5.5 against the only reason people are not going to back the Bengals is because of their defense, but the offense can certainly keep up with the Steelers.
For sure.
The other games don't really interest me. Chicago's been doing a run, but they're questionable still on defense, I think, a little bit. They're stepping up. They're looking better, but the Vikings also have looked pretty terrible. So,
yeah. The Bills, too. One thing I will say about the Bills real quick, and Jay Boss, I want to hear your thoughts, too. With the Bills, they have a fortress. Like, they're a different team at home for sure. Like, they don't get blown at home really ever. The only time I can remember is it was actually against the Colts years ago, where they got ran on by almost 300 yards by Jonathan Taylor, like maybe his rookie year. But other than that, like, they do play really tough at home. And maybe it's like, it's just the moment where they've just been so up and down. But I feel like this will be, I'm pretty sure, Mike, I did pick Tampa to cover. I feel like this is a game where like the Bills will just come out and just like get sick of hearing like people talk shit. And this is a game where they'll just show up and like smoke the Bucs somehow. This is I just have no clue. I can't bet on it because they're so unpredictable. It's crazy.
Well, I can tell you that the Bucs are not going to have 1% on the money line this week. So
no, absolutely not.
They're around -250, which, like I said, I hate that line. I hate betting -250s. I don't know what it is with that number specifically, but that is a terrible favorite number that I've tracked over the years. But to be fair, I think the Bills at home do play much better. We have a very good home advantage, I think.
Sure.
We proved that against the Chiefs, and it's crazy because we're still getting 93% of the money right now, which does not look good. But the Bucs, again, are without Godwin. They're without a starting guard. They're without Bucky Irving again, Hassan Reddick, and a linebacker. So Not the best spot for the Bucks. I think they're still pretty beat up. Obviously, Buffalo's without Kincaid again, and then we got a couple of questionables with Taron Johnson and some other people. So I'll be looking to see where those numbers end up, but I expect the Bucks to get a little bit more respect by the time game starts, which could actually be in the Bills' favor. So,
wow.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, they're going to try to run
home.
the ball.
right.
What'd you say, Jay?
As soon as I seen the Bills are at home, I think I got to side with the Bills on this game.
Yep.
Now you think they're going to cover?
Tougher at home.
Are they covering 5.5?
I think so.
Agreed.
I think so.
Don't give it away, Evan.
My bad. I'm
I'm
excited.
going to give you a
Scott's got a
chance.
pick. We got Jay Boss's picks, but Scott's chiming in with one early for us here. Very nice.
Oh, good. Listen, they're going to need him.
probably
Without
yeah.
Kincaid, they're going to need Coleman. I agree.
I think
agree.
Palmer's back. I think Palmer's back, but yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
Shakur
Coleman's
was
one guy
questionable
that
going
definitely has to step up for them out of that receiver core. I mean,
Yeah.
Josh got to throw that ball up to him.
Yeah.
Was he? He's 6'4".
6'4", D1 college basketball player, played at Michigan State, recruited by Izzo. Like, come on, bro. Throw the ball up to the guy.
Throw the ball up to him, man. Let him make a play.
Man, I'm looking back now at this point. I really wish they would have went and got Rashid Shaheed. I'm not gonna lie. I think we needed that deep
For a
threat.
fourth round? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, we went to go get Palmer, who's he does the same thing, but he's about 5 or 6 years older, probably older than that.
And more expensive.
Yeah. So I just don't know, man. I think the long-term solutions for the Bills might not be there, but week to week, I think this is a good spot with the Bucks injuries. But I'll still be tracking to see. You never know; they could get up to 98, and then I'm immediately going off the Bills in this game. So,
All right. Well, listen. Then we go to the late slate.
Ooh, I see one.
We got
two, actually, a couple. There's a lot of good games on this one.
some home dogs here. We got 4 home dogs.
I mean, how do you not like Seattle at this point? Seattle's balling right now. I think the sleeper pick in the NFC at this point.
Seattle has been balling.
I don't know if they're a sleeper. Are they a sleeper?
They're not anymore.
They're not even a sleeper. Yeah.
Darnold, bro. Darnold's finally realizing his. He did it last year too.
Yeah, until Detroit came and punched him in the face.
Well, there you go. Detroit, Philly is very interesting for sure. Seattle, Arizona doesn't have their quarterback. The Ravens are back. I think the Ravens cover. KC, a division game. Denver at home, probably taking the 3.5 for some good games in the late slate here.
Yeah,
there is.
The NFC West has now 2 weeks in a row where they're all playing in the same divisional matchups, but they're just flipping up who's playing who. So 2 weeks in a row, we saw obviously the 49ers playing the Rams and then the Seahawks versus the Cardinals last week. So it leaves a couple questions in my mind of what could happen this week, but we had both favorites win last week. Do I expect the same? I don't know. I think if there was one to come out, it would be the Seahawks. I think the 49ers are my star for this week. I think the Cardinals, if you look up their injury reporting right now, it is a long list for this game, a very long list. And the 49ers have Purdy, who is officially their starter for this week. Is that a good thing?
Well,
who knows? But I think
we're going to find out.
That's their franchise quarterback, man. Come on.
Right, yeah. People love him there. So. For losing the last couple games, I think he could come in and do a little bit better than Mac Jones. So I automatically 2.5 against the Cardinals. I don't know, man. That's very questionable to me. So I also think the Ravens, man. The Ravens, if you look historically in these Cleveland's versus the Ravens matchups, they shut down that run every single time I watch this game. It is a low-scoring game, and Cleveland is pretty close to winning. So I really don't know. Looking at this game, I think there's a couple favorites where them being the biggest favorite, I kind of question it because I think the Chiefs are in a good spot, a good bounce back spot after the bye. I think the 49ers, like I just said, are in a great spot. And then the Eagles are getting mad disrespect in the percentages right now at home. So could it be a Browns upset game at home? We know they play better in the dog pounds. So
it's true.
I'm not going to sit here and immediately bet the Ravens, who have covered in 3 straight games. I question it.
All right.
And I'm not even going to talk about the Raiders. That Denver game was so painful to watch. I have never wanted to turn off my TV faster in a game.
Where's Marcus when we need to talk some Raiders, man? Give the people some hope on the Pete Carroll hype train. I feel like we might see him soon.
Bro,
Nah, that hype is over, dude. 2 wins. They're going to end with 3 wins.
They're going to get a quarterback guy. Come on.
They need to stay. No, they need to lose. They need to tank.
I'm saying they're going to get a quarterback. They're going to go for a quarterback. They'll be all right. They're not going to fire Pete Carroll after one season.
To be fair, their defense has played solid. It's just that offensive line is not moving, not helping Ashton Genty get his rookie season started in the right way. I think, dude, if you pair up someone with Brock Bowers, he naturally draws 2 defensive people every play.
For sure.
So they have that opportunity. If you can go out, if they tank now, go get yourself an Arch Manning, go get yourself someone to pair with Genty who's young. We've seen like the Giants this year, obviously the injuries, but if you have those young stars come in at a similar time and really build that chemistry, the sky's the limit for your team. So it's just actually setting yourself up to do that. I think I don't know, man. They targeted Brock Bowers, I think maybe 3 times against Denver. I know how good their defense is, but he put up over 170 yards the week before. I question that entire offensive scheme that game. I really don't know what they were thinking. So I'm not going to sit and back them ever. It's a highly questionable team.
All right. So the drum roll, please.
Don't you just hit it?
Here is our selections for week 11 early.
Oh, no. What do we got here, boys? Someone's
that signal up for the hybrid. There you go. Where is he?
I feel like he might be popping in just a second. A little birdie told me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get through.
Oh, shit.
The studio.
Oh, no. The bat signal's up. The guy.
The hybrid.
What up,
Marcus?
man?
What's happening? What's happening, gang? How's everybody?
Good, man. Good.
We're good.
We're just talking about you, bro.
The line is hot.
The line is hot, bro. Listen, I gotta let Mike's got some questions for you, brother. But we were just talking about something that's near and dear to your heart, man. The 2-win Raiders, your guy, Pete Carroll. I said that there is no way that the Raiders move on from Pete Carroll. They're gonna get a very high draft pick, maybe the first pick, maybe get a quarterback. What do you got on the radar for the Raiders? I know they haven't have a good year, but I know you got a lot of love and faith in Pete Carroll. What do you think, man?
To be honest with you, over the last 2, maybe 3 years, the Raiders have been making a move to improve the program. Pete Carroll was a great addition. I mean, he does not have all the pieces, of course, to put together his team that he would like to. Of course, he's got a lot of veteran players that he's, acquired before from previous teams. That's how he likes to do things. But, just like the word around is that he's a player, a player's coach. He kind of likes his certain type of player too. So, I got high faith in him. I don't think that I think it would be foolish for them to let him go so early. I think he has a bright future. Like you just said, SV. I mean, with a top pick, some key free agent moves. I think he's got some things going on.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, listen. If anything tells you this year, you could be bad and then be good with the right moves. So,
yes, sir.
That's right.
Hey, Marcus, I want to introduce you to my boy Jay Boss from Providence, Rhode Island.
Rhode
Island.
Island.
Marcus.
What's going on, brother? How you?
Good, man. Good to meet you.
The line is hot. It got even hotter. Let's get it.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes. So, listen, we're going to roll through maybe the lone wolfers here. Marcus, you got no. Okay, so Marcus is pretty steady here. We got some.
Marcus is trying to make some moves up the leaderboard here. He's making some smart moves.
I got to. SV's been
Let's see, Evan. All right, the only one picking the Redskins. Talk me into the Redskins.
Talk me into the Redskins.
Man, I feel like I got to talk the world into the Redskins for this one.
Let's go.
Miami is in a huge letdown spot here. Like I said, the only reason I think they won that last game is that 1%, and clearly the Bills can't stop the run like we talked about. But I question them moving forward and continuing to win. I think Washington is that team where the past 5 weeks they have not covered. If you've been tracking the spreads for this entire year like I have, there has not been a single team in the NFL to hit a 6-week mark of not covering. I don't care how bad the team is. I don't care what the situation is. There's a very real chance that I expect them to cover this week. They could still well lose, but I think that 2.5 mark, I don't confidently believe in Miami to keep things rolling. That's my only lean here. I think being a lone dog on this game, it's very relevant to what the percentages are going to be for this game. I think the public is going to be all over Miami after they beat the Bills, and I expect that to be a letdown spot at home. Simply all it is.
All right, Jay. We are not going to let him talk us into Washington, are we?
I don't know, man.
Oh, no. He is persuasive. I know. He is persuasive.
I'm over here writing this stuff down now, man.
That's right.
We got to get Jay Moss in the group chat.
Marcus, go ahead. Marcus chimed in.
I said Miami is coming off one of its biggest wins now.
That's true. Riding high, confidence. They were down. They were beaten. Now they're feeling good about themselves a little bit.
Feeling good for what? They have 3 wins on the season. This is not a good team. We know this.
They beat the Bills. That was their Super Bowl. Just like, who else played the Bills like that?
There's a couple injuries for this team this week, too. Questionable right now. They got Bradley Chubb. They got Rasul Douglas. And they got another O-lineman who's already listed as out for that Miami team. The Commanders, obviously, we know their injuries, but they've been playing with that for a couple weeks. I think you got to get McNichols involved in the passing game. You got to open up the run. Krosky Merritt has not had a couple good weeks. We've seen him get like 2 yards a carry, just awful production.
That's that Thursday night football game.
Yeah, man. Like,
always some bullshit.
If there's a bounce back week for him, it would probably be this week. I think, Mariota can still use the legs a little bit. It's an interesting game for me, and I think Miami's just going to be one of those big public favorites that I don't like that much.
All right. SV, talk us into the Panthers.
I mean, I like the Panthers. I like Tat McMillan. I like some of their pieces. They can obviously run the ball at certain times. They've showed up this year, and I guess that's just the way. And Evan made a good point earlier about the Falcons, the team that he follows, very closely. Yeah, they have some good pieces out there. Bijan is obviously great. Drake London's good. They really need this game, but I just haven't been impressed. And this might be a game that will persuade me to change my kind of overall prevailing wind and thought on this team. But I still need them to show it. And I don't see any reason why this can't be a 3-score game or a 3-point game rather. So to get 3.5, I'll ride with the Panthers.
All right. Now here, the only thing I was thinking is this, and you didn't talk me into it, but if you look at the standings, if Tampa loses and Carolina wins, they're going to be tied for the 6 wins in their division. Like I think we're forgetting maybe that the Panthers are 5-5 with a game in hand.
The Panthers coach should be in conversation for coach of the year right now somehow, honestly. Compared to expectations, let's be honest, though.
Listen, hold on. That coach of the year is done, right? Don't even think about it. The coach of the year conversation ends
blowing. Yes, I agree.
They have playoff chances. They have playoff chances now.
What team in the league, beside maybe the Colts, rise that none of us really saw? Like the Panthers, I thought they were going to be like the worst team in the league, and the fact they're alive in the playoffs, I did not see that coming. They don't really have anybody on that team. They really don't. That's the coach. That's coaching, bro.
Let's see. Hold on. They beat Atlanta 30-0.
Yep.
They beat Miami 27-24, Dallas 30-27, the Jets 13-6, and they upset Green Bay 16-13. They lost to New Orleans. They lost to Buffalo. They lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Jags, and they lost to Arizona. So I think I might have talked myself back onto the Falcons. Yeah, I'm back on the Falcons.
I mean, aside from the Cardinals, I mean, those were pretty solid teams.
Yeah, I would say this at the very least. What's the coach's name? It's I forget his name. Not Riviera. What is the guy's name?
Oh,
Panthers coach.
no. Hold on.
I can't think of his name right now. But all I'm saying is he's done a fantastic job. Like he's done better than expected. The fact that they're alive, they're not like a 2-win team, is impressive. So I think he should get some credit. You know, especially having like young guys like Tet McMillan as your number 1 receiver. And, you know, some of just like the kind of fringe players, they weren't expecting to be good this year. So the fact that they're still kind of fighting and are kind of alive, maybe for a wild card, maybe to win their division, it's impressive, man, for sure.
Well, if Tampa doesn't win that division, they're going to cry. Oh, my God.
For sure.
All right, Moneyball, now you're up. Talk us into the Bills. I mean, I think the Bills are going to win this game. I think the 5.5 is too large. I'm picking the Bucs purely with the points.
Yeah, I get the points in this game. I do. I just think with the Bills, man, we saw that game last week, but I really don't view it that heavy on their long-term outcomes for this year. You know, it just draws the question of what we have to improve on. But I think the Bucs, man, like Rachaad White is not a superstar by any means. He can move the ball, but is he going to get you over 100 yards against the Bills? I don't see it. That Ibuka has had a couple solid weeks still, had that early tutty against the Patriots last week. But I think the Bills, man, we still got Bishop. We got a couple pieces that can, lock onto him, keep him in check. I think Baker, his overall accuracy has been a little questionable these past couple losses. Watching him, it has not looked as good as he started out the year. I just think the Bills at home, man, are a different animal. I think after that last loss, they're going to be bouncing back, hitting the practice hard this week. I think you cannot be projected to win all your games and losing these matchups.
Oh shit! Who was that? Hold on. Who said that?
That was Dave.
I let that one through just because I feel funny. So I let him.
Bucks are about to. Oh man!
Come on now, let's keep it PG-13 if we can. All right, we got a little kids.
All right. I'm sorry. I didn't see the. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't. Okay.
Well, look, I'm gonna apologize in advance. I think in the beginning when the line first. When one of our original episodes.
When the line was starting to kindle a little bit before it was hot, it was kindling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said I would never upset Bills Mafia and pick against them. But you know what? I have received a few L's this year on the leaderboard. And you know what? I think I'm gonna be a little bit biased this time. And I did go with the Bucs on this one because you know what? One thing about it, two things for sure. Defense wins games, and the Bills' defense and defensive line is shit show. Okay,
yep. We
have got to figure this out. You have got to be able to stop the run. You have got to be able to put pressure on the QB. At least give me a 50-50, right? And right now we're not doing that. So Bills Mafia right now you're gonna be upset, but I know I picked the Bucs on this one.
And this is
hold on, Marcus. Did you pick the Bucs with the spread, or you think the Bills are going to lose at home?
I think the Bills are going to lose at home. I'm gonna go as far as
nice.
Oh man, coming in hot. That comes for a scream.
I'm definitely going for that one this time because, like I said, I got to get some gains on Shawnee V. Yes. He's on the leaderboard. He's kicking my ass, and I think I'm gonna upset a few folks with this one.
Well, unfortunately, Sean also picked Tampa, so you're not going to gain anything out of that one.
And as long as I get, as long as it adds to my wins on the winner board, right. I think
okay. All right, fair enough.
All right. A new feature. Hey, a new feature we got this week. We have, if it's a clean sweep, we got the lock. So we're all picking Houston. It's a lock. Sean, talk me into the Vikings over the hot Bears.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I might have to change it up on this one. But you know what? No. I'll say this. I
told you I was going to edge them with one. There it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably catch it out. Well, I listen. I'm contractually obligated to take some picks to let everybody back in. Obviously, okay.
I'm
playing the gamification. No, I don't know, man. Like I got I've had Roma Dunze. I just wish the Bears would do more. I understand they have like other weapons. Cortland, they got the tight end. They have some weapons. I just wish that they would get my guy in fantasy more involved, because I think Roma Dunze has the potential to be a top 5, at least a top 10 receiver in the NFL. And I know we see his production. We see his production every week from the fantasy perspective. It's like, man, feed the ball. And he has had an uptick in targets, but I just am not sold on the Bears, man. And the Vikings got Jay Jetta. Is like, I don't know. I believe, is this correct, that Young Boy is not playing, or is he back for the Vikings? Rookie from last year.
McCarthy?
Is McCarthy playing or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
I just feel like he needs to prove something, man. Like he damn near is going to lose a starting spot. Like they invested a first-round pick. Obviously, he was hurt. It's not his fault necessarily, but he needs
national
to show up and do
champion.
something. I know.
Come on, dude.
Listen, I was a Michigan fan for that game. I wore a Tom Brady Michigan jersey that game at the Hard Rock Casino. Okay, so don't tell me. All right.
Are we forgetting that the Vikings already had their Super Bowl game of beating the Lions this year? That was recently.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm in the moment, but I just feel like JJ McCarthy needs to like do something, and he's got some decent weapons on offense. Put JJ.
He's technically a rookie, right? He's technically a rookie.
Yeah. If you're looking at how many games he started, absolutely. He's not started 16 or 17 games yet. Not even close.
He looked
so
like
show me something, kid.
Yeah. Now wait a minute. Caleb Williams was the laughing stock about 3-4 weeks ago. You know what I mean? And he didn't have too many people backing him, okay? But me, as a DC native, I've definitely been rooting for my guy all season long. I'm definitely proud of him. Glad he took some strides and the team is doing well. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm definitely going with the Bears on this one. And I'm definitely going with the home team for sure with a nice butt whipping on this one.
Yeah, the Bears are actually road dogs.
Yeah. Last six. I think it is what is it? The last six of this was the last 6 or 7 games they've won, right? Correct.
Yeah, they've been winning, and not by close margins either. If the Bears were covering every game, I question if they keep that up. But even the Giants covered against, or was it the Giants? I think it was that covered against them last week. So if it was a different scenario, I'd probably question it. But I think they actually are in a good spot to cover against the worst team this week. And JJ McCarthy looked, the Ravens have been healthy these past couple of weeks, and their defense kind of shut him down. So I think the Bears have been leaning in a more positive direction on defense.
Also, Kyle O'Connell better put some shit together for JJ McCarthy. All right, our fans are gonna get real loud. They better do something.
Also, we got to remember one thing. These quarterbacks that we're discussing are young quarterbacks.
Right.
Sure.
Caleb Williams, I don't think he's that. What? Maybe is he 25?
No, he's only second year.
Exactly.
He's like 24.
He's young. 24. Bryce Young is coming on. Like I said, we're talking about some teams that are coming on with some young quarterbacks. We're talking about some experience that they've gotten under their belt. I think as the playoffs start to come upon us, we're going to see some things shake up.
For sure. Definitely.
Well, all right. So I'm going to take center stage here because I'm going to talk all of you in to picking the New York Football Giants.
Good luck.
Not to win this game. Again, I think that 7.5, I think that 0.5 really kind of started me cooking some rice. But once I saw my man Jameis Winston was going to be in, number one, fired head coach, teams usually rally, right? What did I say earlier in the year? It happened already. Boom. Now, Jameis Winston is going to throw for 300 yards. Half of them might go to the other team, unfortunately. But I think my man Winston is now the player in. They passed Russell Wilson up. They don't need you. They got the sports car. I think Winston is talking all of you into it. Did I work or not?
That's a good bet. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Mike. That's a good point. Jameis is going to let it fly regardless. I don't know if New York has anybody who can catch the ball on the other end of that.
Londale's playing good. They got Slayton. Tracy's there. They're not
inspired by those weapons. But.
Again, and the Packers haven't scored a ton, dude. The Packers haven't been lighting the world on fire on the offensive side. So, somebody's
got a must-win game. No, I think the Packers need to win this game. That's all.
I'm not impressed with the receiving core of the Giants. Not too impressed at all.
Malik Neighbors, we are, but he gone. He gone.
Aside from him,
he gone.
Yeah, are we expecting them to move the ball with Tyrone Tracy against Micah Parsons in this Packers defense? I'm not. I don't think even if Jameis throws for 300 yards, that's going to be with 2 interceptions against this Packers defense.
Three touchdowns, 3 picks for Jameis.
Yeah, I think the Packers need a win here, man. If you look at overall records for the past 6 weeks, the Packers are not covering. We know that, but there's also going to be a time where they got to get right eventually. I think they still have a winning record this year. I think it's a good spot for the Packers. The Giants covered last week. If they hadn't been covering, I maybe look at it as a questionable spot. But for the overall trends for this one, I think it's a great spot. They're minus 400 for a reason. I believe in the Packers this week.
All right. I'm not convincing. Okay. I get it. We're split on the Steelers, and then we got a lone wolf on the Jags. Evan, what's up with Jacksonville? After the Chargers just came off of that beating of the Steelers, you think it's a letdown?
I don't even think it's a letdown necessarily. I don't think they've been garnering a ton of respect. I think their offense, man, losing Hampton early on was a big blow. Vidal is okay. I think Herbert's been back and forth this year. He can sling it. We all know that. But I think the Jags, man, they're also in a kind of crucial win spot. They started the year getting some big upsets. We saw them beat the Chiefs. They've obviously been in a downward trend, but there's a lot of teams where, plus 150, plus 175 this week, not huge favorites at home. And the Jags are one of those teams that's an underdog at home this week, actually. So I think they're still pretty beat up. Do I love it? No. But do I love the Chargers? No. You guys know I've been fading the Chargers to cover all year. I don't think they consistently do it enough for what they really have. I think that Gadsden guy
it's my guy.
Yeah, he's been having a couple good weeks, but that regression was kind of bound to come out a little bit. He only put up, I think, 40 yards-ish last week.
There's a reason why he was a mid-round pick, right? If he was that elite. I mean, he's an elite athlete. His dad was Rondé Gaskins Sr., the receiver from the Dolphins. Yeah, he was good, but you're right.
He has the talent. Don't get me wrong. I think if there's going to be a home underdog to come out, this is one I semi-like. It's one of those early lanes. I'll have to check the percentages, but right now the Jags are getting a solid 7% at home. So
interesting.
All right. Well, listen, we move on to the late slate. This is not that sexy. We're split in the NFC West. I get that. We locked down San Fran, Moneyball. I mean, Cleveland. You kind of gave us a little bit of a rundown on that one. Why don't you give me the Kansas City rundown? Because I think that Denver getting that 3.5 is going to end up pulling that game out by a half a point. I think their defense is pretty good. What do you think?
We've been seeing a couple weeks now where Denver has not been covering in games they 100% should have been covering. We know they should have looked at Raiders team. I don't care how good that defense is for how terrible that offense looked. We saw them get in the red zone twice off turnovers, one within the 10-yard line, and not be able to push it in the end zone. I think they're also a team that has a late bye this year, kind of another easy schedule type situation. I like the Chiefs in a bounce back spot after the bye. I would love to look into their record after their byes, but I trust the NFL sweetheart here to come back and keep their record moving. If they lose this game, they're 500 on the season. And we know their overall conference and division is very competitive this year. So coming back, I think Denver is in a bad spot to lose at home this game. A team who we know has been constantly winning close games, but I think the Chiefs actually run away here. I think their offense is capable of, just beating up a team. Do we know if Surtain's back this week?
We'll have to look into that. I'm not sure.
He's another piece where if they can target one guy and really get some deep routes, it'll be a Worthy or someone quick and, getting a little deep. I think it's a good spot for the Chiefs here.
All right. And I do want to not blow you up. You did not pick the Raiders. I don't know. My staff lone wolfed you on the Raiders. I will not make you.
Not backing the
Come on,
Raiders.
Amy. Come on, Amy. Be better. What is she doing?
I won't do it. I won't do it. All right, Jay. Let me ask you this. I know you joined us a little bit late. You're not doing the weekly picks with us. Anything on this slate here stand out to you?
No.
No. Hey, just be honest.
No, not really.
I like it. Honesty is the best policy. Now, we do have a resident gunslinger in the house. I know he couldn't make it today, but we do have some picks that were smoke signaled in from my man Billy the Kid.
Still living off his residuals from the Panthers over Packers upset money line.
Yeah,
the other week.
I think a plus 800 or whatever that was.
That was nuts.
Well, that's amazing. Let me get half.
Yeah, right.
All right, so he's got. Let's see, he's got Denver. Denver's plus 175.
I like both those picks.
120. Arizona 140. If all three of those hit, plus 1,300.
Hey, what is that? $100 to win 1,000? What does that say?
13,000. Yeah, 13,000. Oh no, I wagered
1,009 randomly.
I did 1,009. Yeah.
You goofball.
I have fat fingers.
Fingers over here, Jay. Right? Fingers. This guy.
Fingers.
I have fat fingers.
That's hilarious.
Yep, I have fat fingers. So that's Billy the Kid. We did roll up with some Road Warriors. I did pretty well the last couple of weeks, so I figured I'd keep it going. The only upset I had was Chicago. I'm on Houston on the road. I'm rocking Chargers on the road. The Bears, I think, are kind of making me a believer. I mean, I know they haven't played crazy great teams, but I mean, they're winning at the end. They're putting points up. I mean, my boy Adunze isn't cracking my starting fantasy lineup, but I won't hold against it. I know Sean is spiting himself to pick against the Bears because they won't throw to Adunze. I won't do that. So we're going to roll with the Bears. Now, my man SV is the hockey
I got it all.
guru.
I got it all right
now.
We're
gonna shift gears a little bit, and we're gonna go.
I was gonna say this though. I know that we actually have two because I have Phil's. I have ATL Phil's college picks. Can I do a double segment? Can I do some top college picks in hockey? I'm ready. I'm gonna start with football first for Phil, and then I'll go to hockey. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. So the top football college picks of the weekend. Phil had ATL Phil. Here we go. Iowa plus 6.5 at the Trojans of USC. I like it. He also had NC State getting 14.5. They've been a very scrappy team this year. I like that. At Miami, the U. He also had Notre Dame plus 12.5 at Pitt. So those are ATL Phil's top spread picks of the weekend. And one game that I want to kind of wrap with this is obviously you see we got the Dogs, obviously. You got Texas is plus 6.5 against Georgia this week. So we're going to go back to that in just a second. I want to bring all the boys in as we kind of take it out. But I have to give you your hockey picks, obviously. I studied long and hard, been doing very well, making money so far this season, about 15 games in. NHL bet of the weekend. I actually have a couple, and they heavily rely on the under-overs. So I'm going to give you a 3-team parlay on 3 overs. We're going to tweak it down just slightly, and we're going to go. These are all games on Saturday at the 7 o'clock time slot. We're going to go Chicago, Toronto, over 5.5. Parlayed with Boston, Montreal at 7 o'clock, over 5.5. And then last but not least, Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Rangers, over 5.5. So 3 games, all at 7 o'clock, tweaking from 6 to buying a half a goal down, over 5.5 for all 3 games. I call that the 3-piece bucket parlay of Saturday night. Then we're going to take Dallas money line at home against Philly at 8 o'clock. And then last but not least, our best pick of the weekend overall on Sunday, 5 p.m. Not quite a matinee, but an early evening game on a Sunday. They tend to do that in the league for NHL. We're going to go Lightning money line at home against Vancouver, of which the Lightning have beat them 9 out of 10 head-to-head. So I don't really think I have to say much more than that. We're going to take the Lightning. So there's your picks. And then obviously, boys,
double down on Lightning.
Oh, yeah. We're taking the Lightning, but I want to let you guys kind of take us out tonight, talk a little bit about Georgia giving 6.5 points. So Texas is getting 6.5, just under a touchdown dog to Georgia, the real dogs. What do you guys think about this game? Adam, lead us off.
Yeah, man, I am hyped for this one. I looked at it earlier in the year, and I kind of thought our last test would be Georgia Tech, but this game's an interesting spot. We know Texas has been improving, beating some, ranked opponents recently, but I think this game, man, the only thing I love about it is that we're at home. I love that our team has been consistently winning closer games, which I think if we had been covering the spread in all these games, I would back Texas a little bit more than what I would think for this week. But I'm looking at these percentages, man, and they're giving us +2 or -230. And right now, Texas has 17% of the overall bet, which I think is too high for a +200 team. And then that jumps to 43% on the money. So a lot of people trusting Texas to win, where we know Georgia at home is significantly better. We know we've been improving, and I like what Kirby's been drawing up recently. I think our offensive play calling still has some questions there, but overall, man, I like what Stockton's been drawing up. I think we actually go into the playoffs not losing another game for the rest of the season. That is my bold prediction for the Dogs, and this is another letdown spot for Texas. I think they were questionable early on, and I think Arch Manning really is not that guy.
Not yet.
I
got time.
Man, say that with your chest, man. Say it with your chest again, man. He is not that guy.
He's not that guy. I mean, if
mark
you
my
watch,
words.
Man,
this time last year, Shedeur Sanders was getting crucified, and if he was playing anywhere of this caliber, he would be an afterthought. Let's keep that in mind, okay? When we talk about brand, when we're talking about family, when we're talking about the greats before him. Let's move on past that, though. Back to Georgia. Say it with your chest. UGA is going
I'll scream it from the rooftops this week.
Where's my belt? Okay, I need to get a leather belt right now. Okay, with a big Georgia buckle on it. Okay, BTA belt to ass, aka Heine. All right, we're gonna put their Heine in the hedges this weekend, no doubt. One thing about let me tell you, I'm from DC, but one thing I learned about playing at the University of Georgia and being around the guys from the South and being around real Georgia boys, okay? One thing that they're not taking lightly is some Texas boys coming in there, okay, shaking no hedges. It's not happening, okay? Now, what I will say is this. UJ, period, okay, since Mike Bobo has been there, all right, I want to call him out. He's been there since I've been there, all right? The same playbook, the same plays. I mean, the defense wins game. That's all, and that's all it has been. Okay, and it's time for the University of Georgia to get a new triple threat offense in there that can really get the job done. Like I said, I still think that the Dogs will pull this one out. Okay, it's gonna be a high flying game, but like I said, defense wills the game, and UJ is not having it.
They're coming.
They are coming.
We are, man.
I feel like Marcus, we gotta get you a camera. I feel like when I spotlight you,
we got a little budget coming from the sponsors. So we're gonna get Marcus a nice little webcam, all right, with a nice ring light and everything. He's gonna be lit. Literally.
All right. We need to see his pearly whites.
Definitely, man. I definitely got to get into my mix, man.
Well, listen, Marcus, you joined us at the right time because, my friend, we have added a new feature to the show. I don't think you've actually been on when we've gone through what we call now the Line is Hot line.
Let's get it. Let's do it.
So it's a fan feedback segment. We get calls, we get texts. 716-666-1627. Call, text 24/7. Leave a message. We got a lot of phone calls after that Bills game. Unfortunately, a lot of them were just incoherent. I mean, people were in Miami partying. Unfortunately, we got a lot of good texts this week, though. So I'm going to throw some texts up here, and let's kind of chat it around the horn here. So let's see. So the first one is Adam in West Seneca. This week's game versus the Bucs is a must-win game when it comes to AFC East. What are the chances they can right the ship down the stretch and potentially make it to the Super Bowl? Wow. You want to start with that one, Marcus?
Man, that's a stretch, buddy. That's a stretch, buddy.
Well, hey, man, the Patriots already won yesterday on Thursday Night Football. So they got a 2-game lead on the Bills now? Is that right?
Well, they won. They got 2 games and they won one. So it's like 2.5 now.
Yeah.
I mean, the line is hot. I mean, they are looking pretty good now.
Y'all come back now.
All
right, Jay, what do you think? You think the East is over and the Bills have a chance, or what do you think?
It's tough. Like Marcus said, defense does win games, man. And the Bills got problems on both sides right now. It's tough to tell. I mean, Super Bowl, I don't know. That's
got to make the playoffs first, right, Jay?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Absolutely. That's a
The
stretch,
weather's
man.
changing as well. I mean, it's about to get nitty gritty. It's about to get down to the biscuit.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
All right, Adam, thank you. Keep them coming. Let's see the next one. And listen, I only pulled out 6 or 7 of them. I tried to get the ones that are at least thought-provoking, the ones that just say you suck, Boston Mike. I mean, I get that. I mean, like I said, every time I talk Pats, I mean, I get more hate mail. But I think that's actually kind of good, right? Doesn't every show need a good foil, right? A good, dude. Everyone's rooting for you guys. You know, Sean, they want you to bet real well. Marcus, they loved you. You played. Like Evan, you're just young.
Perspective, man. They need that.
Big Mike's the Joker.
Mike. And I am that guy. But listen, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let's see. Let's move on. So this one here I really did like. This one came from Steve in Depew, and it talks about the Sabres. We don't talk much Sabres on this show.
Ooh.
Hey, guys, are the Sabres already cooked? I heard rumors they might be listening to trade offers for Thompson and Tuck. Are we headed for a full rebuild? Like, Sean, I'll probably let you handle that one.
Damn. Well, I'll say this. We're about 15 games into the season. That's a great question, Mr. Steve. And I will tell you this. It's a little bit early to be thinking about maybe trading your top 2 players on your team. But you're kind of at the point that if they slip out of contention, it's pretty easy to get buried in the standings. Like at the time of us recording this or being live right now, they are in last place in the Eastern Conference, which is obviously not a good place to be. If they continue to be hovering around the bottom of the standings, I would say by Christmas, they might have to honestly consider maybe making a trade. And I think it's mainly because, if your top players want to get, be out and get traded, what are you supposed to tell them? Like the Sabres haven't made the playoffs for going on 15 seasons. So you can't, these players that have got to where they are at this level, and Marcus can talk about this being like a professional athlete, they're wired to be competitive and win. So in a constant losing situation, you can't blame them for wanting to not kind of waste their time of their prime years in their career. So yeah, man, I could see it. I think if they're out of contention, I think that they could potentially, hate to say it, but maybe take offers on some of their top star players. Unfortunately, looking at it, maybe another rebuild, but there's still time. They're very banged up with injuries right now. So let's give it a little bit of time. Let's let them get back healthy and kind of see where things stand in about a month from now.
I mean,
all right. Hey, Steve, hopefully we answered your.
At the end of the day, it's about what sells tickets. I mean, that's where it's at. I mean, no matter the sport, I mean, we got the big 3 in basketball. I mean, you name it. Each team is looking to acquire the best players with the best brand that can sell these tickets. I mean, the Super Bowl, of course, is the biggest event Of course, we're looking at the World Cup. I mean, there's multiple examples of how to build, how to build up into the end of the season. I think right now it's at an even playing field in a lot of different sports at the moment in terms of the teams that are ready to take the next step. So it's definitely going to be what team is the healthiest, which team is focused and is blocking the crowd noise.
Well, listen, they already got rid of Eichel, right? My one of one buddy.
Yeah.
So, all right, listen. Okay, here we go. The Bills better play. Hold on. The Bills better play like they did against the Chiefs and not like they did against the Dolphins. The playoffs are on the line, unfortunately. Brandon and Corby. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I don't know what else to really say. I mean, we kind of beat this game up a little bit. Yeah, they played out of their minds against the Chiefs, but then the Chiefs almost came back on them, which was kind of scary.
They gave the Chiefs their best punch, and then the Chiefs were still there, like to try to almost win.
4th and 17. Like, I mean, really? Like that.
The Bills don't have a knockout punch, unfortunately, on offense. That's what it is, and they can't stop really anybody on defense. So
yeah, so that's cool, Brandon. Thanks for calling in or chiming in. This one was anonymous, and I think I know why. I pulled this one out because it's kind of funny.
Damn.
I'm sure this is a play on McDermott and Brandon Bean. McDummy and Bean Pie need to go. They're wasting Josh's career. The window is still open. So it's like the roller coaster of this one is kind of why I picked it, right? He's like, it's dead. You got to go. But then like, hey, we got a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
All Buffalo fans are this year. It's like you guys cannot make up your mind on this team, but just have faith. You guys don't look at the numbers like I do. Like I said, the Bills are the most popular team in the NFL, but every time there's a question in y'all's heads about if they can actually win games, they are consistently getting it done on those specific nights. So I think this is another great opportunity to beat a good team and prove that you still have that juice for the future. I trust McDummy and Bean Pie to be on the top.
Nice.
Dummy and Bean Pie.
Very nice.
Good one.
All right, Drake. This was from Drake in Foxborough. I'm not sure if that's a real name or not, but what do you think will happen if the Bills lose the division and have to play a good defense on the road like the Broncos?
Or a running attack.
Well, Dobbins is out right now, so maybe the Broncos' running game isn't as scary. I don't ever want to play a playoff game on the road, especially in the first round. If you're a wild card team, I think you're there for a reason. I don't think they're going to win the division, unfortunately. Like I told you guys 5 weeks ago, once we hit that one level, we're not looking back this year at least. I mean, obviously year to year. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the way the NFL is set up for the Patriots this year, I think it is one of the easiest schedules in the entire NFL. I think.
Hold on.
He's right. He's right.
Hold on. But do you realize that the Bills only have 3 games different than the Patriots?
Yeah.
Well, that's 3 games better.
Well, but you lost 2 of them already. So what's the deal? And you lost to the Patriots.
I don't expect us to win
Sunday.
the division.
We'll see Sunday too.
I don't know. Listen, you can't use the schedule ever. You guys, listen, hold on. So you're saying when you had the 18-year drought, you got last place schedules, and every year you came in last place because the schedule was hard for you? That's bullshit.
I don't think I've been saying anything about the Bills schedule.
No.
Specifically for this year.
What we're saying is the Bills are in the golden era, and this happens to be.
You picked against them, Marcus. You didn't even pick them.
That's fine. But I will always give the Bills Mafia their credit when the credit is due. They are in the golden era. I cannot allow you to speak about Foxborough like that.
Listen, I just think the schedule is such a bullshit argument in the world. You beat Kansas City, great. That's 1 game. Okay, you won that one. Like where's the schedule difference? I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get it.
And if they lose to the Bucks,
yeah.
To be fair, the 2 losses for the Patriots this year were the Raiders and the Steelers.
Yeah, weeks 1 and 3 when they didn't even get their shit together.
No, I know, man. I'm saying that in your advantage. If there's going to be a team that comes on top, it is because of this schedule a little bit. I'm not saying they haven't been playing well or producing. I think it's just to your favor against the Bills. I think we do have a little bit of a difference there, but by the end of the year, yeah, that's definitely a factor.
Yeah, but listen, if we played head to head and you kicked our ass, then you can say the schedule all you want.
Well, and that's the beauty of these two teams is we do play you again in the regular season after a bye for your team. So that'll be the biggest tell.
All I'm saying is that I don't think that there's enough credit given, and I feel a little slighted. Whatever, we've won 4 games the last couple of years. I mean, you feel like you gave us a win at the end of last year and you zigged us or whatever. We didn't get the number 1 pick, whatever. Who cares? I mean, it's a rivalry still, man. I just think the schedule thing is a crutch, personally. But I will let you talk me into it later, Evan.
Yeah, and the first time these teams played this year, I was on your side backing the Patriots for that game. I knew analytically everybody backs the Bills every week, but in those games where it is a divisional rivalry like you're talking about, I do lean that lower percentage. But I think when they meet again, it will be a different story of a lot of people backing the Patriots.
Tell them, Moneyball.
That's where I think those.
Hold on. But are you going to be healthy? We're going to come off a bye, right? I mean, like, are you going to be healthier than you play? Are you going to get a worse Patriots team than you got week 5?
No, but that's why I think more people will be on them, and that's the only reason I think it'll eventually bite you. Of like you're going to win out and have a great record by the end of the season. Definitely being the top in this division. That's my prediction. But making a run in the playoffs, there's other things that we haven't seen from the Patriots in recent years. We know this is a newer camaraderie. I think eventually something might happen there. I've been saying that for weeks, but they're consistently winning. So until that proves otherwise, I'll keep backing the Patriots.
And listen, I just have to be the evil Mike in this segment.
The entire Patriots organization is evil. They've been evil for years.
You are evil, Mike.
Thank you.
Come on, Marcus. Marcus, weren't you almost drafted by the Patriots?
No.
Man, the only story I have about the Patriots is I went for the pre-draft workout, and when I tell you, within 5 minutes, I probably was ready to go. They ran me till I couldn't breathe in the cold. I'm talking about there's no way it's that many drills in one session. Okay, so I never liked them since.
They were trying to make sure you were the real hybrid, bro. They're like, oh, this guy, he's about to run a 4.4 at linebacker. Oh, we got to make sure.
Man, they thought I was a panther, a cat, and something else too.
Damn.
All right, Drake, I tried to carry the water for you, my friend. Thanks for texting in, if that was you. Here's one. Matt A. From the Bills Mafia. I hate the fact. Here you go. See, all right, I picked this guy. Not only did he have 2, which I liked. He says, I hate the fact that the Pats are back and doing it with guys we saw no value in, with a little frown face.
That is a stinger.
Obviously, who are we talking about, right? Mac and Diggy, right?
Yep.
No trades and a loss to the Dolphins. Come on, guys, you're better than this. So, I mean, I get that second one. I mean, obviously, the first one worked out for us. I mean, listen, one man's trash is another man's treasure. We did talk about Mac Hollins on a few teams. I mean, remember, he was with the Raiders playing real well for a year or so, and then all of a sudden he had no value. So I'm not going to ever blame the Bills because they don't pay people anyway. and their salary cap is crazy anyway. They didn't have any money to pay him anyway. Yeah, I get it.
They get the least cap, I think, in the whole league, I want to say. Right up against it. So
you guys had like $1 million, but you made some moves at the deadline, which I thought you were making some room for some salary.
They were, but like I said, the Dolphins and the Jets, they don't want to trade with us. It is what it is. But
yeah,
there's no excuses, man. If you think you have a Super Bowl window with the Super Bowl MVP type of quarterback, you got to figure it out, man.
Yep.
Try harder.
Marcus, I have a question for you, and I know you know the answer to this.
What we got?
When I look at Diggs from being an outsider, and I thought when he was on the Bills he was great, and he just wanted to win, and guys around him weren't maybe giving the effort, and he got a little frustrated. Do you think that they gave up on him too early, or do you think that he was a cancer in the locker room? What do you think?
Well, let me say this. Once again, another hometown guy. Him and his brother a few days ago to a few other athletes from this area. Big shout out to Diggs, the Diggs family. And to answer your question, they definitely gave up on him too early. Diggs, if you do your research on him, even back when he was younger, #1 player in the country in high school, one of the top players in the country coming out of Maryland. Everywhere he's been, he's done exactly what as advertised. Of course, he does other things outside of sports would draw a little extra attention. Depending on the area and what the team or team that he is on. But to be honest with you, being from DC and being with the Vikings, being with the Bills, having an opportunity now with the Patriots, and being with the Texans, he's been placed in pretty good arenas where he's able to take advantage of his talent. The team in itself being able to take advantage of the athlete that they have, I think the Patriots are doing well. I think they could do a little bit better. We're giving them a little bit more space. But like I said, to answer your question, I think that kid's got a lot of gas left in the tank.
I personally, man, I love Diggs. I always have. I liked him with the Vikings. I liked him with the Bills. I think he does bring that fire and that energy, but he also is a bit of a head case in some areas. I love last week where he runs out of bounds and tosses the football to the cheerleader on the sidelines. He's got
slick. That's slick,
Cardi,
bro.
Yeah, he's got Cardi B back home screaming at the television, recording it and posting it to her Instagram. Like,
okay,
he's got fans, he's got the energy, but if things aren't going his way, he does tend to kind of let that stack up on him. And with the Bills, unfortunately, that was more often than not for kind of how the season ended when we did let him go. But I don't view it as like a major impact thing for us specifically to where we lost all of our potential because we got rid of Diggs. But looking now in the division, he's got that vengeance. He has that drive to kind of put it to us a little bit. So we already saw that come out earlier once in the year. So unfortunate on that side of it.
Now, to be honest with you, Moneyball and Big Mike, I think the player that the Bills had in Diggs had ran its course. As it, like I said, being from the area and like I said, knowing the background and the family, I would say that the right situation tends to be good for Diggs. And like I said, I think his time kind of ran out in terms of wanting to be there, staying focused as a player, and having the things necessary for him to be successful. I think that kind of ran its course in Buffalo. I think the Patriots.
He wants to be that top guy, and now in the Patriots, I mean, I've said it. I like Matt Collins, but is he a wide receiver one talent? I think he is that top dog there, and I think that's a better situation for him actually, which is what he wanted. I think it's what the Bills wanted. We went out, we got Kincaid on a first-round pick. Maybe those guys haven't done as well as he possibly could have, but it's overall camaraderie. We know that in the NFL. We want those guys who aren't going to get upset at us if we're not throwing them 10 targets every game. Like, that's more of what the situation was to me, is you could visibly see him upset when he had those off games and when him and Allen weren't clicking. I think Allen's a guy who, like, he's a total ride or die guy. And if you're not riding with him, I think they just simply push him away, which that has come to bite us a little bit. But overall in the future, we still don't know how that's going to end up playing out. So I think it's an interesting storyline to track. I like what he's been doing this year. Like I said, I love the guy, and I wish him the best, but I don't think it was the right situation with Buffalo.
Yeah. Now, Marcus, let me ask you this. You think once they let Diggs go that they forced their hand into this everybody eats baloney because they couldn't replace him with another number one because that didn't fit that narrative?
I mean, I think that was just a smokescreen put up to disguise what's really going on there in terms of Allen. Allen needs the weapons. He needs those players around him to be successful. Like I said, this is the golden era for the Bills. They have their quarterback. They have certain pieces that that are necessary. Without that defensive line, without those key, like you said, like that key number one receiver, to actually be able to take it over the top. I think they are throwing up a smoke screen with the everybody eats.
I agree. I do like Shakir though, man. I think he's a very good locker room presence. I think I have him on fantasy. I know he consistently is getting 50+ yards a game with 7 targets. He's as consistent as you can be in the wide receiver position, a great slot guy. I think we were hoping Keon was going to do better than he has been producing. When you look at him in college, he was that, contested catch guy going deep, catching in the end zone, whatever you need. So he hasn't proved to be that guy in the NFL this year, which is really where that difference was, getting rid of Diggs to go pick up him and Kincaid and some other pieces. I think that was really the mindset moving forward. It just hasn't turned out to be as beautiful as they thought it would be, and that every dog eats. I mean, James Cook, man, we have all the talent in the world. I think it is that it's more with the Bills of getting Josh Allen moving his feet. Last week when he started doing that, the only reason they didn't convert that and make it a closer game was because he fumbled. But when you play, like we just saw the Jets, they were within a tutty for most of that game because Fields, they're running a lot of jet sweep motion plays where he's running the football, doing a lot of that. I think that's the confusion that they need to instill more in their offense instead of just throwing up, terrible play calling. I think it's really just got to come together and what they're good at. And Allen's legs is the number one reason I think that they could end up winning this week and making a push still, is him just taking that dog mentality. So
now, let me ask you this though: do you guys think that they have the reins on Josh and they know that he's one injury away from 8-8 or what? I mean,
I think he's very healthy. I think he's a guy who takes care of his body, and even if he is running, he's still sly. I mean, he'll run guys over, but he still does it a little bit smarter than some other guys I see. So I just wish they did it a bit more. And I think we're games where they get down, they kind of abandon that too early and really start to try and let it sling, where we know we don't have that deep threat guy. That's why we got Palmer. That's why we got some other pieces. Palmer hasn't been healthy. Keon hasn't been doing it. So that's where the questions are. If they start to come on and we can actually work those guys in, we're back to winning a lot of these games that we're losing, but they're just not clicking that in their heads. McDermott and whoever is calling these plays is very questionable in a lot of these situations. So,
yeah. Now, I like Shakir. I hate the fact that 60% of his passes are caught at the line of scrimmage or behind. I wish they could get him out a little bit. I mean, that Wes Welker mold, you go out 5 yards, boom, cut in. You can't chase that guy across the whole field. I mean, why are they doing so many screens and just baloney passes? I mean, I feel like they're not setting up the run effectively by throwing it down, right? They're just letting these guys come on in the box, and they know they're not going to get beat over the top. It's frustrating, but
it is.
All right, we got one more here. I like this one. This one was a good one. So this one was also anonymous. I don't know who you are. Let us know next time when you send in your text. Let us know who you are. Leave your name on the message. It says, I hate when Bills fans lose faith so quickly. One loss and the sky is falling. Trust in – I like this with the up and down letters. Like that. It's pretty cool. Trust in the process. In Bean, we trust. Go Bills. So obviously it's not all bad. We're trying to spark conversation here. Labasi, you've been quiet here, man. I know you're sitting there smug with your number one team. I mean, listen, you're the first person to congratulate the Bills. My wife is obviously a Bills fan. You're the first one to congratulate her. You're the first one to cheer Joshy on. I mean, what do you really think?
About the Bills in general, just I think the fans are overreacting a little bit too early. I mean, it's still early in the season, so they're overreacting a little bit. Absolutely.
Yeah, way too much. They're overreacting. That I said,
it's early.
Yeah, they don't know when to track. Everybody bets the Bills every week, but there's teams in the NFL, man. I actually like when a team goes on a playoff run and you've had those early challenges, because when you lose in the playoffs, we know it's one and done. So if you get those problems out of the way early, that makes for a better run later on in the playoffs. I'm not saying that we can really make those defensive corrections yet. I'm not saying we even made the trade value, but I think this team does have that camaraderie. I think we do win at home. I think we beat good teams this year. So when you're getting 1% on the road and you lose to a divisional team, to blow it up and say, oh, yada, yada, it's a bad situation because of how good the Pats have been doing, but you get another chance to play them. You still got other chances against the Bucs this week to play and beat good teams. So I think, way overreaction. Just see what happens in a couple weeks. So then feed me the crap.
No, I agree. I stated this early on a few episodes back. It's going to come down to the end, towards the end of the season. And we're talking about one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league. And this is crunch time coming up, and he knows how to prepare. Like I said, like Moneyball said, we play the Patriots again. 9 times out of 10, it'll be brick cold. And quarterback versus quarterback, mano y mano. It's going to be time to show once again. And I have to believe last year at the same time, or getting close to this time, we were discussing the Ravens and the Bills, and Josh putting his stamp on, being one of the best. And I think he proved that last year, and I think this year he'll put on a show.
Agreed.
All right. Well, I don't have any more fan feedback other than the feedback is good. So listen, if you love us or you hate us, send it in. We will put it on. Just make sure you don't curse on your messages and you leave your name at the beep.
And where you're from.
And where you're from, yes. And Drake, if you're out there, please text in again. Please. That was
send me an OVO chain.
Drake's still crying after Corona.
We are up against an hour and 52 minutes. We keep saying we're going to hit this at an hour. Sorry, Dave. I know we're long. But we have so much fun doing the show. So hopefully everybody has fun watching it. For myself, the hybrid, Jay Boss, Evan, Moneyball Marsh, and SV the Don. This is The Line is Hot.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Go, baby.
Go Dogs, baby.
Yo, step up. Place best, this moment's ours. Summing up the mountain, feeling the powers. Counting gains, no shame in it to win it. Roll the dice, double down, life's a limit. Kings on this court, ruling the game. From the top of the world, calling my name. No hesitation, just celebration, it's sight. Raise the stakes, we're living for a height. Yeah, hit the summit, best high.